we're talking to Simon here about his award-winning piece, the Alan Peterson Award, and it's really nice to see it in the flesh here at the Cheltenham exhibition. Tell me what to say. Ask me a question, Keith.
How do the mitres look in real life?
Because very good question.
We were worried about.
There's a lot of big debate about that.
Let's have a look at them. Follow me down. Yeah, pretty good. And of course, as you pointed out, there's twists from that direction to there by the curvature of that. And the mitres, they're looking pretty good. I love the spaces as well in between. It was that kind of light. And look, we didn't know about this, did we? We thought it was a bevel, and it is a bevel. Because going off a photograph, it's hard to know. That could have been a glue line, which of course would not be good news. But it was a deliberate softening. Because that's what you should do with a piece of furniture. Never have a sharp edge. I mean, we're really happy that we made the right decision, I think. Seeing it in the flesh, because of course doing it from photographs is always risky.
Yes, I can understand that feeling. But it came as a surprise, I must admit.
I love the colour of it.
It's come out really well with the linseed oil finish.
There's medullary rays showing down there.
We both said that it looks a lot smaller in real life than it did from the pictures. We both imagined it to be much bigger.
Oh, okay.
But it's nice proportion.
Thank you.
The fact that it's functional.
Functional, yes. The idea of storing magazines and controllers in that little space there.
Yeah, because spaces are the premium in a lot of houses, isn't it?
Very much so.
Coffee table can be. Do you have any plans to kind of repeat it?
Yes, I'd like to play around with some different timbers and metals combinations, and possibly play around with the design a bit more as well.
Great. And I love the tapered legs because that gives a kind of perspective, doesn't it? Looking down on it.
I think it allows the tapers work with the angles of the tops, for my feeling, and that's why I did it.
That's good. Well, hi Chris. I'm glad to see you're one of the winners of the award that I'm one of the judges for.
Thank you.
And we actually judged it off photographs, so it's really nice to come and see it in the flesh.
I came to visit the show 2 years ago and dreamt about coming here, and now I'm here. I only found out about the best use of British timber about half an hour ago as well.
So you put it in for that award. Well done. So you won 2 awards.
I know.
And you're struggling to explain it to me.
I am.
Well, I kind of, it speaks for itself in a way, doesn't it?
Thank you.
Well, what's going on here with this shoulder line, Chris?
Shoulder line is just to find a line to put the oil on. It's either to put it on the front of the drawer or bring it in line with the dovetails.
I mean, they're lovely cut and no gauge lines.
Well, we were talking about that.
That's the part actually.
Oh right, So again, this is one of those contentious issues.
I mean, judges don't always agree with each other, do they? In fact, it's good that they don't. But I think we are agreed on this, aren't we? About the scored shoulder line being a bit of a no-no. But this is a very nice variation.
You don't like shoulder lines?
No. Alan's prognosis on this was that you only gauge what you're cutting out.
Sure.
And the other thing we also used to do was when you make a drawer like this, to get the piston fit, you would leave the sides sticking out by a fraction of a mil.
So even if you put that score line back in.
If you do just go over, you normally lose it. When you plane it back to the drawer. And it just looks so much crisper.
I totally agree. I mean, some people say it takes away the handmade feel about handmade look, but
I think it looks more impressive without seeing lines down to it.
How do you make of the oil line?
Again, that was something that we used to do is wax from their back. And then just put a coat of lacquer.
Okay.
I just think that's a really beautiful feature.
To be honest, my favourite bit is actually the soft close, because the air traps it.
Oh, the
listening because I get a lot of soft clothes.
Can you do that again? You wouldn't show this to me before. You're only showing Keith.
I'm going into my role here.
That it's all about is the expression of the piece artistically, which it's got. You know, it's a very sensuous, interesting piece. You know, it's not just a rectangle, but also the precision of the craftsmanship, and that really illustrates that. And of course, that's a deliberate gap there. For the screws, and of course the golden question is, how has he done his screw heads? Keith?
Oh no!
What? They've got to be diagonal or in line. They're all over the place.
Well, they're in line, but they're going the wrong way.
Oh, they are. Sorry, I can't get in there.
Maybe.
Oh, let's film it that way. Now, what do you mean by the wrong way?
Well, they should always be going with
I
the
know,
grain.
but why? I mean, I agree with you, but why?
Tradition.
Tradition. And that's not quite parallel there. Is that deliberate?
What's that, sorry?
There, it's not set in parallel.
Sorry, how do you mean parallel?
Well, this parallel to the surface, slightly. I can see
because
a shadow line.
the gap was too big. So by insetting the hinge.
Yeah, but that means your screws are going in at an angle. Only slightly.
Oh, to be honest, I think that's the shape of the hinge. They are slightly wedged.
Yeah, but the other one's parallel, and that one isn't.
He's been all.
I've got to be honest, I made this about 6 months ago.
Be honest. We're not expecting perfection, we're just expecting near perfection.
I made it about 6 months ago, so I can't
I'm
actually
just
remember.
picking out real kind of
No, I
nitpicky
know.
bits.
But I know the hinges are slightly tapered.
I love the way the handle sort of goes all the way down the door and across the vent as well.
Yeah.
And I saw from your article all the jigs that you had to make up to cut.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course, that's a draw as well.
quite a bit of work. And getting the grain to line up as well was quite a trick.
Yeah.
It kind of all comes. Oh, look at that! It all comes together, doesn't it? Is it okay?
Hi, my name's Oscar and I'm one of the winners of the Alan Peters Award this year. I created the huddle table and it's an answer to a brief which it was two parts to the brief. One of them had to be promote wellbeing in the workplace and the other part it had to be a collaborative workspace for two executives in an office setting. So reasonably tight but reasonably loose at the same time, the brief. So I kind of answered that in three ways. First one is a standing desk, so you're working at height, because from research shows that a half an hour meeting when sat down can easily last an hour and a half, but apparently you are more productive when you are standing up and moving around and things. And then the next answer to part of the brief that I answered was a shape, so it's this triangle shape that you can see, and that comes from research into counselling techniques where people are most comfortable to talk when they're stood at 45 degrees. This is actually closer to 60 degrees because it works better with the shape to get a bit more of a work surface, but that's where the shape comes from. So the idea is that people stand here and they can be able to have a conversation, and the whole idea is you're basically trying to diffuse the top and bottom dog scenario. So you're diffusing egos, you're diffusing any form of confrontation, you're putting people on a level playing field essentially. The third part comes from this laminate, which takes about a week to create, and that comes from speaking to people and who give presentations and deliver training. And they say what tends to happen is you get people who they'll be talking in the meeting and they'll have the device or the iPad that you're presenting from, and what happens, I'm just going to bend down here. What tends to happen is they'll be holding the device and they'll hold the device and they'll present to the other person. So by creating this, I decided that this is something that it looks very nice as well, but it actually has some functions. This you can then rest your device against this in portrait or landscape or any point along the space. So you're giving both users equal viewing access to the piece. So not one person has control of the meeting. And
and the people watching my video haven't a clue about how you've done this. How did you get these twists? Can you tell me that very very briefly? Is that possible?
No, not particularly. So it's laminated.
Yeah.
So it's made up of it's made up of about 24 layers of 0.6 millimeter veneer.
So average thickness veneer.
Yeah. And then what you do is you cover each veneer in epoxy resin, and then you put them all together and sandwich them so it makes up that thickness there. And then you slide it into a pre-made vacuum bag, which then you suck all the air out of your vacuum bag, so it's airtight, so it clamps all these layers together, and then you bend the whole vacuum bag to this shape, and then make sure you're happy and leave it for the glue to go off about 24 hours, and then slide it out, and then you have to sand and disfigure it until it's you're
At
happy.
that point, then you have to trim this to size, because obviously you get a bit of sliding.
Yeah, so you get all the steps basically.
Yeah.
So down here was quite bad because I've shaped that back way quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it just had loads of steps, and you just had to shape it, chisel it, sand
And
it.
this was your first attempt, was it?
Yeah, something this is abstract. Yeah.
Because the joints are amazingly tight. I mean, you can't see any glue lines there at all.
Tell me about the covering at the top.
The covering, the top. Yeah, so this is mulehead leather from Mulehead up in Scotland, and I've just basically placed this down and stuck it down to some MDF and bent it around here, and then it has a backing piece underneath to cover the joint line. And I've actually veneered the underneath by matching the end grain together. Yeah, so it's a bit difficult to see.
Okay, I'm Jason Heap, Exhibition Director of Celebration of Craftsmanship. We're here at the opening this evening, and everybody's enjoying themselves.